Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hold on. Let me turn my music down a little bit. Yeah, I decided to do this Monday game talk early because I was literally at my computer. Just got off of OG's podcast. Shout out to him, man. For having me on there. Had some good conversation on there. Some things we're going to look at. That was said in said show. I'm waiting on a couple of things to come back to me. Hold on for a second. Okay, so I hope y'all are feeling good. Still feeling good from that victory that we got on them sorry ass ain'ts from yesterday, sitting atop the division, top bow wows again. Hopefully it remains this way for the remainder of the season, where we're the top bow wows. But we'll see. I'm looking at the schedule, and the optimism is we catch fire at the right time. We start doing things that we're supposed to do at the right time, and we start making teams pay. So the internal optimist, is always wanting to win these games, especially these teams that are on the schedule. Now we're going against the Jets team whose defense is the truth. They have a very, very good defense. So we have to find a way to put up points. I think we'll be given enough opportunities to put up points because as good as their defense is, their offense is relatively on the opposite side of the scale. Their offense is not that good. Their offensive line is terrible. I don't know if they're going to trot that third string quarterback out there, but yeah, he was not good Friday either. He was awful. So we'll see what happens. But again, I feel like if we play up to our potential, we should get this game out of the way. And that'll put us, we'll be a 500 ball club, still atop the NFC. So we need to try to get some separation from the rest of the NFC South to ensure that we get into the playoffs with a home game. So again, man, looking back at the game last night, I like the way we played. I like the energy that we played with. I like the tenacity that we played with and the confidence. We played with a lot of confidence yesterday on both sides of the ball. I like the confidence in the poise that Desmond Ridder showed after that second pick, to go out there and not let those two picks interfere and be able to throw a touchdown to Bijan. Showed a lot, man. Showed a lot. We have ripped Ridder's ass on this side of the fence, so it's only fair that we give Ridder credit when he makes a good play, or when he bounces back. So you clean up the turnovers, man. I would prefer no turnovers against the Jets. I would prefer that, but I think we've come accustomed to seeing a turnover. I think we've come accustomed to that. So my thing is keeping this momentum going against New York, and then having that become infectious every week that we play. And to be quite honest, you need the playoffs to keep your job. You need the playoffs to keep your job. Ridder, you need the playoffs to keep your job. So that's why I said this stretch is going to be interesting, because both of these guys are tied. They are tied together this season. We're either not going to see them at all in the offseason because they're going to be gone, or Ridder might be subjugated to second string QB, or they're going to get another year. So we'll see. I think it's all contingent on if they make the playoffs. And right now, quite honestly, with this schedule, you have no excuse not to. You don't have an excuse not to make the playoffs, fam, at all. So again, on OG's podcast, I wasn't aware that fans were mad about yesterday. To the fans that are mad because yesterday happened, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. You shouldn't be mad at all. That was probably the most important win we had this season. So nobody should be mad at the fact that we won or how we won. Fam, listen, these are going to be some ugly wins showing up. Unless we start firing on all cylinders, these are going to be some ugly wins. But if we get wins, nonetheless, who the hell cares? Right? Like I said, I would prefer an ugly win over a pretty loss. Alberto, man, don't say that, man. Alberto says, Mark, what's going on? Sound check. Seems like you're in a spaceship. Yeah, don't say that. Oh, man, they had OG in that Guardians of the Galaxy ship, boy. OG was sounding like he was in another planet. But man, shout out to OG, man. Shout out to Mad Mike and everybody over there, AFN, Maggie, all them, man. Listen, I say at this point, I guess it takes guts to have me on, because one, we like to deal with facts, and y'all know I fact check. So there was a conversation brought to the table about Trevor Lawrence. Since that conversation, I've literally been scavenging Google, trying to find out who the people are that said Trevor Lawrence, or they're still trying to figure out if Trevor Lawrence is the guy. I haven't come across anything from the organization whatsoever. None. Matter of fact, I hit up not one, not two, but three of my buddies that actually stay out in Jacksonville, because I'm like, maybe it's just me. Maybe the local news ripping Trevor Lawrence another one. So one of my partners hit me up and said, I quote, who the fuck saying that dumb shit? End quote. Who the fuck is saying that dumb shit? He out in Jacksonville. I can't find, the only thing that I found was Nick Wright. Nick Wright said something about Trevor Lawrence. And this was a week ago. But it's funny because Trevor Lawrence was the offensive player of the year, offensive player of the week last week. So again, when I asked this question, it was crickets. I had to do my own research. So I did my own research. I'm still doing it because maybe I come across an obscure article where somebody we've never heard of is saying this. But fam, they're sitting at 8-3. Again, there's always room for me to be wrong. Jack says, what's up, fam? I sent you that Saints video on Facebook. Oh, hold on. Let me hold on. Jack, I probably missed it. Okay. Oh, yeah, here it is. Let me see if I can pull this shit up. Okay. Hold on, fam. I'm gonna see if I can come on. Can I save it? Yeah, hold on. Okay, let me do this. Official Saints fan reaction. Okay, let me do this real quick. I'm sorry, but I said I was gonna put this up. Official. Oh shit, let me go to YouTube real quick. And then we'll get back into what we were talking about. Official Saints fan reaction. Okay. Boy, I'm spelling all wrong here. Championship game. Okay, let me. Yeah, buddy. Okay, I gotta pause everything right now. I told y'all yesterday. I came across it. Shout out, Jack. Shout out to that man. I told y'all I came across this shit. I was gonna put it up. So let's do this real quick. I'm gonna cut off my music. We're gonna share my screen, and here we are. Bangums. So yesterday when I talked about this, and it's just fitting that my foot's still on Saints fans' necks. Okay. So when I brought this up yesterday, this is why, as a Falcons fan, we hate you Saints fans' guts. And it's all love. Listen, as people in New Orleans, we love y'all. I love my New Orleans folk. But during football season, bruh, it's all hate here. It's hate. You can call me a hater because I'm a hater. I'm a big hater of you. I hate your team. I hate your team. I hate your fan base too. But this is one of the reasons why. Right here. As we play this beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful things I've seen in my life, fam. I'm telling y'all this because I'm sincere about this. This is beautiful. Let's roll this footage.
Let's go, come on, hit it. Hey, 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 hey. What? Yes, you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you.
And with 15 seconds left on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hecker to get that snap from Jake McQuaid. Hit the foot.
Fam, did you see the reactions? Did you see the reactions, fam? That's why we hate y'all guts. Game ain't over yet. Game ain't over yet, bro. But look at y'all. Look at how y'all responded. Look at how y'all responded.
Let's go, come on, hit it. Hey, hey, hey.
Fam, game ain't over yet. But they celebrating. They see Super Bowl in their eyes. Look at them.
Hey, hey, hey.
Look at them. Look at old girl getting off. Look at old girl getting off. She like, oh, we got this in the bag. What y'all Falcons have to say about that? But then watch this.
What? Yes, you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you.
Look at the switch up. Oh my God, that whoever did this deserves a fucking Oscar. Oh, the transition was just perfect. It was perfect, fam. Now look at him. Look at him.
The kick is good. Sirloin clutch.
Fam, I bet you if they put that TV on mute, you can hear a rat pissing on cotton. Oh, look at him. He can't. Look at this dude. He can't even look at the TV, bro. Look at yourself in the mirror. He can't even look at his team right now. Look at the dude in the red. Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again. Man can't even look. He can't even look at his team in the face. Look your team in the face, man. You got a jersey on.
And with 15 seconds left on the road. And what a job by Johnny Hecker to get that snap from Jake McQuaid. Hit the foot.
They can't listen. This is why we do not like Saints fans. Stand in the mud with your team. Stand in the mud. Oh, everything was, look at him. Everything was crunk when y'all were winning.
Hey, hey.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Game ain't over, fam. Look at this.
What? Yes, you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
Look at this.
I bet you.
Whole place was crunk. Whole place. Same game. Motherfuckers on the wall. Look at the somber moods. That's why we can't stand y'all. Because this is what y'all do. This is what y'all do, fam. Y'all 10 toes down. Y'all 10 toes down when your team winning. But when they take that L, though, y'all in Witsec. Y'all in Witsec, fam. Like Tasha from Power. Can't nobody find you. Even your kids can't find you. There's an APB out on Saints fans when y'all lose. But when y'all win, though, y'all doing the stanky leg. When y'all win, though, who that? Even before y'all win, y'all utter out a who that. Y'all score a touchdown, it's a who that. Y'all score another touchdown, who that. Who gonna beat them Saints? Who gonna beat them Saints? Then the team walk you down and beat you. APB, fam. Cops telling us we gotta wait 48 hours before we actually file a missing persons report. That's why we can't stand y'all guts. It's more than a rivalry, but we just can't stand your guts. Because y'all disappear. Falcons fans, 10 toes down. We don't disappear from social media. Y'all stay gone. But neither here nor there. Appreciate that, Jack, for sending that to me, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So let's go back to what we were initially talking about. This Trevor Lawrence thing, and I'm gonna end it because I just got another text message from my boy who just gave me the laughing emojis. These are two of my partners that are out in Jacksonville right now. I just asked them a simple question about Trevor Lawrence not being that guy in Jacksonville. Hey man, a birdie told me y'all out there on that dumb shit about Trevor Lawrence not being the guy, and y'all 8-3. Been on Google, and listen, I'm gonna do my due diligence. I'm gonna stay on here until I can find concrete evidence. Period. Kenneth, let me get to some of these comments. Here we go. Kenneth, you've been on here a couple times, fam. I get it, but we don't discriminate over here. We take all stuff. We don't run away from anything. Kenneth says, "Ho, is this relevant to our horrible head coach, OC, that needs to be fired and replaced?" Yeah, it's relevant because something was put on the table. And we like truth over here. So if that were the case, okay, we hear the Trevor Lawrence talk with 8-3 is still batshit crazy, but okay. They are talking about this guy ain't the guy. But I can't find that. And when I asked the question, it was crickets. It was do your homework. And then it was crickets. So I said, okay, I'll take time. I'm coming on today anyway. So I'll take time. While I was on there, I jumped on Google on my other screen and I looked at this because I'm like, maybe it's something I missed. Because it was told that this is why you watch every game, or that's why you watch more games outside of the Falcons. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, bro, Sunday is literally football day to me. The Falcons come on at 1. I don't go to sleep until that Sunday night game is played. And they've made it to a point now. Things used to be so easy, fam. So easy back in the day. If you had cable, you can just turn from one channel to the next. But if you don't have cable, you have to watch one game on cable, then you have to watch another game on Paramount Plus, then you have to watch the late night game on Peacock. And then after all the games are played, matter of fact, I went to sleep last night. Man, it might have been 2:00 in the morning. That's all I do on Sundays is watch football. So again, that's why when this came up, I'm like, maybe it's something I missed. I can't find it, fam. No, of course, nobody from the organization saying that dumb shit, because that's exactly what it would be. Dumb shit. So maybe, you know, they show this evidence later on during the week. I don't know. I can't find it. So if they find it and they put it up, hey, fine, cool. I get it. But I asked a simple question. We deal with truth over here. And I'm not going to tell you anything and label it fact and not be able to show it to you. But that's whatever. So let's look at what we can expect from the Jets. We can expect their defense to show up. That's facts. Their defense is really the only reason that they're in these games to begin with. That's it. Our defense literally has to make sure the Jets put up hardly any points. Should not be hard to do. Matter of fact, let me look at who they might be trotting out as quarterback. Because they just benched Zach Wilson last week. So let me see. I'm seeing Aaron Rodgers return, which yeah, no. All you're seeing is just bad shit about the New York Jets. Let me see who the starting QB might be. So nothing yet. Yeah, nothing yet. It's still Boyle. But that could change. I doubt. I doubt. They're riding with this guy. There's no way you put Zach Wilson in again. But Boyle did not do good yesterday. Okay, so a day ago, hold on, let me see. Tim Boyle remains the Jets quarterback, and the possibility that Aaron Rodgers comes back this season. All right, that was on the 20. It was on the 25th. I'm looking for. All right, so I don't really see anything other than what I read. I'm not even going to bother to go and listen to their press conference because I can give two fucks. But they'll probably be starting Boyle, right? They'll probably be starting Boyle. I don't expect Tim Boyle to be any better than what he was at all. Todd says, I got a question. How can an NFL team week after week have such an easy schedule and still be a losing record? We haven't played to our potential, fam. I mean, that's just it. You know, we've been a mediocre team ourselves. So, you know, there is that saying, you are what your record is. And we've been mediocre. So we haven't been any different than the teams that we've lost to, honestly. And when you look at Minnesota, Minnesota, you know, was walking in with a winning streak before they lost to Denver. With Denver, that's a completely different team. I think they started out at 1-5 or some shit. Now the team can't be beat. So I'm looking for that type of turnaround from our team. I don't know what the hell they did in Denver, bro. What What's going on, Uncle Steve? He says he named Boyle the starter Saturday. Jets scare me because if they stop the run against us, then what? Yeah, their defense is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. The way that I'm kind of looking at it is I think their offense will give us more possessions than we'll give them. Because their offense is just trash. It's just awful. Their offensive line is it's awful. It is awful. So I'm thinking maybe we can get a sack strip. Maybe we can get a pick. We have to find a way to get extra possessions. But at the same time, this Jets defense has given up points. They've given up points. Good defense. Good defense. But when you look at let's look at their last couple of games here. All right, so they gave up 34 to the Dolphins, good team. They gave up 32 to the Bills. Good team, on the cusp of a good team. Their record doesn't really say they're a good team, but they can put up points. To the Raiders, they gave up 16. Problem is they only put up 12. So the Chargers, 27 points. And the Chargers have been on tilt all year. You look at the Giants, where they only gave up 10, but they scored 13. So I mean, to the Broncos, they gave up 21, even though they scored 31. That was the game that Nathaniel Hackett got all the credit for, because Sean Payton had been talking he threw the motherfucker under the bus. Let's just call it for what it is. He threw the motherfucker under the bus. So they were really playing for Nathaniel Hackett that game. But I'm looking at the keys. It's just you got to have more possessions than them. If you have more possessions than the Jets, then you should win. Because their offense it's inept. Look at their last couple of games, bro. 13 points, 6 points, 12 points, 6 points, 13 points. That's bad. So technically, if you score 17 or 18 or not, you should win. That's how bad their team is. Seth says, didn't the Jets get Lazard from Green Bay? Yeah, he was scratched. He was a healthy scratch. Which I'm like, boy, y'all paid Lazard all that money and then y'all scratched him? Okay. Okay. That was a head scratcher to me, but yeah, they scratched Lazard. No injury designation, no nothing, just scratch. Raymond says, good win yesterday. Just want to see a dominant performance from our guys. It's always a struggle when it shouldn't be. Underperforming, but glad for the win. It's been like that all season. But again, listen, from this point on, an ugly win, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's how bad I want us to get to the playoffs this year. I take it. At this point, it's just about getting wins. No matter how they get it, I'm taking it. Because right now we're in the driver's seat, fam. We control our own destiny right now. We don't need help. We just need to win. You look at a team like Tampa. Tampa needs all the help in the world to make the playoffs. We're not even a wild card team. We're in with a home game. So all we got to do is go out there, take care of business. Don't have any super tough teams ahead of us. All these teams, I think all these teams have losing records. Every single one of them. I mean, we got a losing record too, but we're just a game behind. So we take care of business. We got a home game that saves Arthur Smith's job, at least for another year. Probably saves Desmond Ritter's job for another year. Without the playoffs, both them gone. Tev says, we need to win these games. We're supposed to win against the Jets, Colts, and Bears, and Panthers, especially with us losing the teams we should have beat. In the Titans, Vikings, Cardinals, we win We win those, should be in the playoffs. I agree 110%. RJC says, what up, Mark? If Ritter cannot turn the ball over, we are good. Arthur needs to run the ball. Yeah. Honestly, that should be a 30 piece we put on the Saints. Should be a 30 piece. All sauce. Kenneth says, we haven't had a dominant win since 2020. The problem is Arthur Smith. He just figured out that having someone in the box above helps call plays. Really, hey, fam, sometimes it be like that, man. Offensive coordinators are very, very strange creatures. Very strange creatures. Some offensive coordinators, they need to be on the sideline to see and interact with the players. Others, man, I'd rather be in the box, away from all the noise. Me and my staff, we're going to be up here cooking. You look at Dan Quinn. Quinn up there in the booth. But then you have some defensive coordinator. They need to be on the sideline. You know, they need to be able to, you know, touch and talk to players on certain plays. You know, so it just depends. It's my thing is whatever works, whatever gets the job done. If you got to be up there in the booth to be a better play caller, God damn it, you need to stay in the booth. I don't want to see you downstairs for nothing. So a dominant win since 2020. Shoot. I can't rattle off all the wins by, you know what, for kicks. Let's go check that out. Let's go check that out. Kenneth, we're going to go see if you're factually correct. And if you are, God damn it, you are. Let's see. Let's come back up. All right, so we're in 2020. November, hold on. When did this take place? That is 20. Let me make sure I'm giving y'all accurate. Yeah, I'm giving you accurate information. So 2020, November 29th, we beat the Raiders 43-6. So let's just start from there. Okay, so we're going into the preseason of 2021. All right, we'll see. So far, we've had some dominant losses, though. God damn. Okay. Okay. I mean, I can stop you right there. Well, hold on. No. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. So far, so good. Okay, that's a preseason game. 2022. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew we were going to run into this game. The 49ers game on October 16th, 2022. 28-14. We dominated that game. That score might not say blowout, but we dominated. So that's one. But I'm gonna give you a pass on that one. So we'll keep going. All right. So we're going into Buccaneers game of last year, 30-17. They sat their starters though. So I'm gonna give you a pass on that one too. But other than those two games, you're correct. Other than those two games, you're absolutely correct. So I give you that one. I will give you that one. We had two what you would call dominant wins. One was on the road against San Francisco, which 2 weeks after, they acquired Christian McCaffrey right after that. I think it was the week after, but he didn't start until 2 weeks after we beat him. And then they've been on a fucking tear since. And then the Buccaneers, last game of the season, They sat Tom Brady down. I think after the second quarter, they brought in their backups. We still beat them. So I give you credit on that. So that is an actual, a good statement. A lot of these wins have been ugly under the Arthur Smith regime, and it's pretty much it's football theory. He plays for the fourth quarter. All these games, no lie, fam. All these games, you honestly could have missed 3 quarters of football and been walking into the same game. Start of the fourth quarter, it's usually going to be a tight one. So again, but then you can make the same argument with the Eagles' last 4 games. It started off ugly, they finished strong. Did it last night against the Bills, which was a great game in the rain. Went to OT. Jalen Hurts runs in for the touchdown. Game over. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They came back, was able to beat them. They're not pretty wins, but nonetheless, they're W's that you can put on the board. And at this point, if you want to make the playoffs, you take a win any kind of way you can get it. So I'll take that. But going back to what we said earlier, fans should, if you have, listen, fam, if you got an issue with the way that we lost, I'm not judging you as a fan. I never will. What I will say is maybe take a couple days off. maybe take a couple of days off. That's all I'll say. So you shouldn't be angry when we've been playing like this all year. The difference is we got the dub. Now, if we would have lost, trust me, I get it. I get it 100%. But this should be a feel-good win, because if the goal is to make the playoffs, this win dramatically increased your chances a lot. Because see, now the Saints have to do something. And let me look up their injury report real quick while I'm sitting here. Because they're going to be without some guys for a minute. We already know Thomas is on IR, so that's an automatic 4 games. But that could extend past 4 games. You look at what's going on in Minnesota with your boy Jefferson. Your boy Jefferson came out straight up, flat out said, I'm not coming back till I feel 100%. Fuck y'all fantasy roster. Until I feel I'm 100%. I ain't stepping out on the field, bro. I ain't doing it. He's way past his 4 weeks. So Mike might shut it down if there's no shot at the playoffs. Man, we saw Michael Thomas shut it down just because a couple of years ago. So if they have no shot at the playoffs, man, that man's shutting it down for the rest of the season. Y'all might as well put Michael Thomas on y'all bench in fantasy and keep him there. Because if we do our job, it makes no sense for him to come back. Make no sense. All right, so the Saints injury report. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to week 13. No, they're not going to show me week 13. Well, they're not really going to report what's on their injury report right now, but you got Olave out with a concussion. He could come back Sunday. He could not come back Sunday. We don't know. But they had players on offense and defense go out yesterday. So that's beneficial to us. I hate the guys got injured and all, but that's beneficial to us because they were already mediocre with their players healthy. Without these guys, if you don't have Olave and Michael Thomas, and then their young guy, Shaheed, or I think I'm pronouncing it right, but nonetheless, he went out. So if they don't have Olave, Thomas, or that boy playing, Their wide receiver, they have nothing. And then they're playing a team that they're probably going to lose to anyway if they were healthy Sunday. So that helps us. Tampa's going to do what Tampa does. And you might as well say Carolina's mathematically taken out of the playoffs. Everything's in front of us right now, despite how this season has turned out, because it's been a dumpster fire up until this point. Even with that being said, you still got an opportunity to make good. And we need to take full. This is why I say if we don't make the playoffs this year, your boy getting fired at the end of the season. You get fired. Because this scenario, this is a perfect storm for you to get to where you getting. Jonte says the Saints play Detroit. Yeah, and I said it yesterday? Oh, Detroit. Bruh, Detroit gonna get that nasty Thanksgiving taste out of it. They taking that out on somebody. The Saints game is a get right game for them. They probably putting up 30 plus on the Saints. Oh, and then on top of that, Cam Jordan went out too. We don't even know the status of Cam Jordan. All this stuff benefits us, man. Kenneth says, okay, say it too. Is that really acceptable? It's atrocious. 19 wins, 26 losses. Too close, but not quite blowouts for the win. Does a team 7-10, 7-10, and 5-6 deserve the playoffs? Really, it's not about deserving. It's how the playoffs, how it's situated. You got 8 divisions. Whoever wins that division, it's an automatic playoff. Don't matter what your record is. So, am I going to be mad that we make the playoffs with a losing record? Nope. The objective, you got to remember what the objective was at the beginning of the season. Playoffs. That's what it was. Now, the expectation was 10 plus wins. But if you get to the playoffs, this is going to save Arthur Smith's job. And that's just facts. This is going to save his job. Now the last 2 years, you can look at the seven wins as, hey, you look at that first year. You know, Julio gone, really eventually up and leaves. Don't really have a run game. Matt Ryan on last legs. Rookie tight end. And even before that, we had losing seasons before Smith got here. So let's not forget that either. With Ryan, with Julio, with Ridley. The second year, Arthur Smith's tenure. No Matt Ryan. You bring in Marcus Mariota, who everybody knew was a bridge quarterback, which I could not understand why there was so much defensive Marcus Mariota. The man was a bridge quarterback. He was never, I repeat, never the long-term plan here. And at the beginning of the season last year, we got on here and said 7 wins. That's a good season. Before the season even started, I had this team penciled in at 7-10. That's exactly what they did, down to the wins and losses. And the bad part about it is this team had the ability to win 10 plus games last year. This year, you finally get off of Ryan, Julio's contract, got money in the purse to go spend, and you spent it. Wisely, by the way. 5-6. So at this point, it doesn't matter how you get in the playoffs. You got to have something to show for this season. You have to. And mind you, remember, this was supposed to be a 3-year build. 3 years. Unlike the Trevor Lawrence news that I can find where Fontenot and Smith talked about a 3-year build. We're in year 3. So you gotta make the playoffs. You have to. This is what makes these last couple of games dead interesting, because it's more than just wins and losses. I don't believe for a second that if we don't make the playoffs, this guy's still here. What's going on? What's going on, Tev? Tev says, I heard people say, and Mad Mike said you can't get to the playoffs with just division wins because we would be 6-11. It's fam. If you win the division, let me do this. Hold on. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. I'll just share this, fam. Let me go here. A lot of things are just, a Google click away. I'll just share that. Let me go here. Y'all can just read this. The teams with the 8 best records in each conference receives playoff berths, with no automatic berths or guaranteed top 4 seed placements for division champions. So let me click right here. Oh, is that NBA or NFL? Because that might be NBA I'm looking at. Yeah, my bad. I think that's the okay, here we go. That's the OKL post. My bad. All right, let's do that. And I'm doing this in real time. I'm doing this in real time. Let's do this. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, here we go. NFL playoff seeding. The NFL playoff seeding system is simple. The division winner with the best record is given the top seed. So right now that would be Philly. Philly would be given, and they changed this a couple years ago. It used to be the top 2 teams would receive a bye. And then what they did is they pretty much said, okay, the team with the best record, they get the bye. They added a wild card. And then how they did that was the team with the second best, they would play the 7th. And really, this was just a money grab. We got an extra game to make more money off of, right? So Philly would be the top seed. They would get the bye. The team with the second best record is handed the second seed, and so on. The 3 wild card teams are always seeded 5th, 6th, and 7th. The 5th seed goes to the wild card team with the best record. Each team seeding has a direct impact on playoff games. Before 2021, both the first. Well, I just explained that. So basically, this is how this works. There are 8 divisions. I don't care what the fuck your record is. If you win your division, you make it to the playoffs. It's just that simple. Now, anything else, we're talking wild card at this point. Could 3 teams from one division make the playoffs? Theoretically, yes. But if you're sitting atop your division, you're going to the playoffs. It's that fucking simple. Now, where this thing would get tricky is if you only won your division games, right? Let's say, for instance, let's say we win at, well, shit, if we went out, or if we won the rest of our division games, that would put us at 5, 6, 7, 8. That would put us at 8 wins, right? Say we have 8 wins, and that's mathematically impossible. But let's just say hypothetically we had 8 wins, and I think the Saints had 10 wins or some shit like that, right? Well, they got the best record. So that's where it might get complex, when you're talking about wild card spots. When you're talking wild card spots, that's when you're talking tiebreakers, all this other shit. Right? That's when things kind of get tricky over here. And at that point, you're talking tiebreakers. You're talking, wild card tiebreakers. So if we were in a situation where we were trying to get into the playoffs, but we did not have that top spot, then that's when, you're chasing a wild card. That's where things like tiebreakers come into place. Like, case in point, if we lost to Minnesota, if we're playing for a wild card spot and Minnesota had the same goddamn record, we watching from the couch. So it's a lot of factors that play into it. That's why, teams play for the division. Because that's your shoe in right there. That's your shoe in to make the playoffs. You win your division, fuck what everybody else talking about. We'll see y'all at the crib. First playoff game. We'll see y'all at the house. So let's look at it this way. Let me pull up real quick what the playoff picture would look like right now. Let me see. And it's good to have conversations like this. Kenneth says, if a tie comes about in record, then the conference games decide who wins the division based on a tie. Yeah, that would matter with the wild card. But let's do it this way. So this is a perfect example. Let me put this up real quick. So if it were to end right the fuck now, right? This is what your playoff picture would look like. Hold on, my bad. So right now we would be 4th. Look at the records. I want y'all to look at the records right here. If it ended today, we'd be playing the Cowboys. Cowboys is sitting at 8-3. And then the bad part about it, the Cowboys have to come to us, bro. If it ended today. Now, the Lions would play the 49ers. Boy, that would be a good-ass game right there. The Lions would play the Niners. Of course, the Lions would have to go to the Niners because right now the Niners are sitting atop their division. We would be playing the Cowboys, and the Vikings would be playing the Seahawks, the Vikings that have the home game. You got to win your division. Now, when you look at who's on the bubble, right? You look at the NFC. You look at the NFC. The Packers, Rams, Saints, Bucks, Giants are on the bubble. Three of these teams got the same record that we got. The problem is in their division, they're second or third. That's why you hear Falcons fans talking about division now. That's kind of the only way you're gonna squeeze into these playoffs. You gotta win your division. When you look at this side is even worse, fam. This AFC brutal. The Texans are 6-5. They on the bubble. But what you would have over here, Ravens would get the bye. Chiefs and Jets. That would be a good game too. Chiefs and Jacksonville. Man, that would be a good ass game. I'm not even gonna lie. The Dolphins and the Steelers. Steelers have surprisingly snuck up. But I'd still pick the Dolphins. Then you got the Browns and the Colts. What makes this thing so interesting is this shit can change overnight. Because the Broncos are coming. The Texans are coming. The Bills, listen, man. I think the Bills are fool's gold. But they still on the bubble. Bengals are done. Bengals are cooked. So, yeah, it's possible to have a losing ass record and still win your division and make the playoffs. Hell, if we look at, let me see if I can pull this up from last year. Let me do this. I'll do this real time with y'all. I don't have Pornhub or anything up, so you know. I don't have, Tasty Blacks or anything up here, so I'm safe. People use their phone to do that anyway these days. Hold on, fam. Let's do this. 2022 playoff standings. So Tampa Bay got in last year with a losing record, 8-9. But look at who was on the bubble. There were 3 other teams that went 8-9 and didn't make it. So again, man, the division is where we need to come through. And I'm sorry I took my time to do that. And I'm pretty sure all y'all are football savvy in here. So all y'all know what the deal is to make the playoffs. I just wanted to take because sometimes you do have it does kind of get muddy when you're talking wild card. Kenneth says, weren't the Giants the first team in the NFL to win a Super Bowl with the losing record? I think so. Since we're on Google though, let's look at that. Let me see if I can talk this into the mic. First team to win Super Bowl with losing record.
Buffalo Bills is first in the AFC East standings.
Oh, Jesus.
You can also ask about specific teams.
I swear, they never get it right. They never get it right. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. 2011 New York Giants. They did it against the Patriots. Actually, hold on. The Giants were 9-7. So they didn't have a losing record. They had the worst record to win the Super Bowl. But now that does sound familiar though. Let's keep going down here. All right. Let's see. We got 9-7 teams. What are we doing? Goddamn Reddit. All right, only 2 sub 500 teams have ever made the playoffs. This was 9 years ago. That's changed. Yeah, let me get out of here. That's changed way since then. All right, let's do this. Team with the worst record to win a Super Bowl. That would be the Giants. Their rate, yeah. So no team has ever done it with the losing record. They did it with a 9-7. I remember they had just skated in that year. But yeah. Let's see. Tev says I'm Googling it also. I'm seeing is they say if you only win a division game, you can't get in. The team with the best record. Yeah. It kind of works like this. So let me stop this real quick. So basically, like I said earlier, with the Falcons, if they just won their divisional games, but the Saints had a better record, the Saints would get in because the Saints have the overall better record. However, that's kind of mathematically impossible for us to win our divisional games, because that would put us at 8 wins, right? We're 5-6 now. Let's look at the Saints record. Let me do this. Let's look at the Saints record in there, because there's only six games left, right? New Orleans. I hate putting this shit in my. I hate putting their name in my computer, fam. I hate it. Fucking hate it. God damn it. Hold on. Let me turn this off real quick because I'm not going anywhere right now. So the Saints have on their record right now, they're 5-6, same record as us. They have the Lions, they have the Panthers, they have the Giants, they have the Rams, they have the Bucks, and then they have us. So if they won all these, and that means they would have to beat us with the last game of the week, last game of the year, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's that would put them at 11 wins. If they won all these games, they probably would go to the playoffs, because the last game would, depending on what happens. However, I don't see them beating the Lions. I don't see them beating the Rams. At this point, honestly, depending on, who's coming back from injury, I don't see them beating the Bucks. So I see for sure 2 losses, especially against Detroit. I don't think they're getting all those guys back to play them Sunday. And Detroit is a good ball club this year, and trust me, they're going to want blood for what happened and how they got embarrassed by the Packers on Thanksgiving. That's why I say the path is for us. In all honesty, if they lose 2 games, I don't see how that's possible. Mathematically, it's still possible for them to make the playoffs. But they would need some help, because if we do our job, they don't even have 11 wins. So we would control that. But yeah, so if you can't win off of division wins alone. So if it got misinterpreted like that, I apologize. You can't win 6 divisional games and then lose everything else and say we're going to the playoffs. No, that means you just had the best divisional record, but it's better overall record with the divisions. That's an automatic. Shoe-in. So yeah. So if I spent all that time and it was still confusing, I apologize. But it only gets confusing with the wild card situation. That's a whole different beast in itself, fam. But we should get in there. We should get in there. If we do what we're supposed to do, we should get in. And then we'll be complaining about, the off season with, Arthur Smith getting another shot. Does Desmond take a drastic jump, going into next year, all that other stuff. Jack says, if the Falcons, let's say, go 8-9 but 6-0 in the division, it doesn't matter if the Saints would be 10-6 but 3-3 in the division. The Falcons take the division. No. Let me read this. If the Falcons, let's say, go 8-9 but 6-0 in the division, it doesn't matter if the Saints would be 10-6 but 3-3 in the division. The Falcons take no. That's not how it works. So it goes best overall record. So if the Saints are 10-6, they go to the playoffs because they have the best overall record. It's not division record. It's best overall record. They would go to. Matter of fact, let me pull up the NFC South last year. Let me pull this up real quick. We definitely have to straighten this. We definitely have to straighten this out right now. So it's best. Tev says the Bucs went to the playoffs last year with an 8-9 record because everyone last year had a worse record. Yeah, so let me pull this up real quick. So this is last year. This is 2022. So if you look at the records, this is a prime example. So the Bucs and the Saints. Let's see what the divisional record was. So I'm seeing home and away. Shit, we were 6-3 at home. Look at that shit. 1-7 on the road, man. That's just bad. Hold on. Let me see more. Yeah, they're not showing me divisional. They're just showing me home and away. Let's do this. Best divisional record. NFC South 2022. Jesus. And I hate going to Wikipedia because you got to go through all this shit. Okay. I'm wondering why that did not show me the. Am I looking at this wrong? Man, fuck this. I gotta do this I have to do this the old school way. I'm a little old, so let's look at their 2022 campaign. All right, so their 2022 campaign, we're looking at preseason right here. So they beat the Saints, so that's one win. Actually, no, what the fuck is this? Okay, yeah, they beat the Saints. They beat us, so that's 2 wins. They Panthers beat them, so they're 2-1. Actually, hold on, what the fuck am I? Okay, that was their bye. So they're 3-1. They're 4-1, and then we beat them. So that's 4-2. Yeah, y'all making me work for it. Y'all making me work for it today, fam. But hey, listen, I love it. So let's look at our campaign last year against the NFC South. So it's preseason. So we lost. That's 0-1. That's 0-2. Damn, we lost to them. That's 0-2. That's 1-3. That's 1-4. Shit. So we won. We won 2 games. But yeah, the way Seth says, fuck this shit, man. Fuck it. He said, damn, it's simple. We got the same record as the Saints, but because we're better in the division, we're first place. Yes, exactly. So I think we're overcomplicating it here. So this This is the simplest way to put it. The team with the best record in the division goes to the playoffs. Division wins mean nothing unless you have the same record. Okay? So if we had a better record in the division and we won 9 games and the Saints won 10 games, the Saints would go to the playoffs. So that's the simplest way to put it. We kind of went around the block. Well, we could have just stopped at the driveway. So that's the easiest way to put it. Right now, we're first because we're 3-0 in the division. So if it ended right now, we would go to the playoffs, even though we got the same record as the Saints. But sometimes, these things these conversations need to be had. We spend a lot of time on it, but I'd rather spend a lot of time and there's a conclusion than, a short amount of time and people are still like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So anyway, we play like we need to play. Division record don't even matter. We'll have the best record if we play the way that we need to play. And there's a lot of positive things to take away from yesterday's game. You clean up the turnovers. You're putting up a 30 burger on this team. But there, you look across the NFC South right now. New Orleans is injured. Carolina is doing what Carolina is doing this year. Don't expect them, even if they made a run. There's 6 games left. The best they can do is 7 wins. So the math ain't even on their side. Atlanta win 2 more games. They're mathematically out of it any fucking way. And Tampa, they done lost, 3 or 4 in a row? So hey man, I'm here for it, fam. But anyway, I'm about to hop up off here. We went around the block. We went around the block with this division talk, but it's much needed. And this sometimes, listen, man, no question is a bad question. No question's a bad question. And sometimes, it's, if you don't know it, it's good to ask questions like this. You know what I'm saying? So there's a clear understanding at the end of it without judgment. Because everybody ain't a football fucking aficionado. There's a lot of things I still don't know about this game, fam. And for somebody to tell you they know everything about it, they're fucking lying to you. They're lying to you, fam. Because not one person can sit here and say they know all the rules in the NFL rulebook. Nobody. You got commentators that sometimes get stumped. That's why they be bringing in these retired referees. And in certain cases, the retired ref sometimes got to go look at the book. When you hear them go to Blandino and there's a pause sometimes, man, Blandino trying to get confirmation, bro. Blandino might see something like, I ain't never seen that shit. The years I coach, I ain't never seen that shit before. Then sometimes you'll get the TV ref that will disagree with the refs that are currently reffing the game. I mean, shit, you see that every Sunday. Saw it with our game when the slam to Cordell Patterson should have been a penalty. They didn't call it. The refs expert said, hey man, that should have been called. Look, it was 2 guys, man. I don't know how they missed that. You see it happen every Sunday, fam. Richard said, why is it so hard for everybody to comprehend? If you win your division, you're in the playoffs. Division record is only for tiebreakers. Listen, I'm pretty positive people are going to listen to the playback, and this shit is, that last 20 minutes is going to drive them wild, fam. It's gonna drive them. It's gonna drive them wild. But sometimes you do have to, because now if we were talking about tiebreakers, fam, you talking about a whole different monster. Because that's always confusing. But yeah, none of that matters if you got the best record. None of it matters. So that's what we're gunning for. But yeah, you see refs get it wrong all the time. And then some of these rules, I forgot what game it was, fam. God, I forgot what game it was, but there was a situation where the ball went into the end zone. Jesus, this is gonna kill me. The ball went into the end zone, and somehow it was, oh God, this is gonna kill me because it got so confusing. I can't even describe what the fuck it was. But they had to take a minute and dive into the rules book. It was like a safety, but then something else happened. And I'm sitting here like, huh? Man, hold on. I'm gonna Google this real quick and I'm gonna get the fuck off. Because I don't want to spend the rest of the day trying to figure out what the hell this call was. And maybe y'all can help me out. It was a weird ass play this year. The ball went into the end zone, and it was like a safety. No. It was a punt return or some shit like that. Matter of fact, hold on. I gotta go to Google real quick. I want to say it was a punt return or something like that. Hold on. I need to take some goddamn typing skills, man. I can't even think of the team that played, man. But it was a weird ass rule that gave the team the ball back that didn't deserve the ball. But by rule, it was some obscure ass rule they were given the ball. And I don't know why I can't think of the play or the teams. But I remember that call, like, how the fuck is that even possible? Anyway, with me not knowing the team and the actual play, I can't even pull it up on Google. It'll come to me. Birdie says, okay, fumbled in the ball. It was this year, fam. It was this year. Fumbled the ball out of bounds. Let me look at that real quick. Seattle. Okay, September 17th. Yeah, it was this game. You're abso-fucking-lutely right. I gotta read this because to remember the play. It says only the Detroit Lions. Let me share this screen right here. I'm gonna start doing that with y'all guys. Y'all don't think I'm reading something else. Let's share this. So it says only the Detroit Lions can get royally screwed by the refs in a game they're not even playing, thanks in part to the missteps by NFL officials in the Seattle Seahawks Los Angeles Rams game. Well, no, this is not it. What the? Okay, this is no. I'm not looking for that one. Let me just pull it up on YouTube.
Stop me if you've heard this one before.
YouTube is the best place to fucking go when you need to research something. Let me turn the music off real quick. Where's my music? Okay. So hopefully this is what we're talking about right here. But it was a bogus ass play. Shout out to Jackson Kruger Sports. Hey, listen, fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Fair use. All right, let's get into it.
Controversial call at the end of a Lions game. Yeah, a story that's been told all too many times for the Detroit Lions. Although I actually think this one is a lot more complex than people are talking about. Here's why. So it's a 3rd down and 2 right here. That's obviously important, just given the nature of the game. This is in overtime, but it's the first drive. So the Seahawks need a touchdown to win. And as you see, well, Geno takes the snap. And I mean, you're going to see this, looks to be in a great situation, right? Hutchinson right towards Geno Smith, about to generate a pressure, probably get a sack here, force the Seahawks to kick a field goal. The way these offenses are playing, totally possible that the Lions could end up marching down the field and getting a touch. But as you see, it appears to be a hold right there. Geno Smith throws it to Tyler Lockett. They get the touchdown. Well, let's use another angle. Let's see what actually happened. And first, let's just remember what the actual...
Let me stop it real quick. It's not this play, but it happened the same week. It was a different game. But this one was worse.
Rule is, I think we all know the basics of it, but let's just go over it again. This is how a hold is defined in the rule book. Uses his hands or arms to materially restrict or alter the defender's path or angle of pursuit. It is a foul regardless of whether the blocker's hands are inside or outside the frame of the defender's body. Material restrictions include, but are not limited to, grabbing or tackling an opponent, hooking, jerking, twisting, or turning him, or pulling him to the ground.
And officials miss this every week. I do fucking week.
That this was clearly a restriction, a materially restricted play. I think that's absolutely what happened. But that's not where the discussion for me comes in. Because watch how when this play begins, you see how Hutchinson puts his right arm underneath the tackle's right arm, right? There is an exception to the holding rule. If during a defensive charge, a defender player uses a rip technique that puts an offensive player in a position that would normally be holding, unless and until the defender's feet are taken away from him by the blocker's action. That means that...
Now, family, I dare you to run into somebody saying they know everything about football. I fucking dare you. There's no way. Look at how convoluted this shit is. Look at how convoluted this shit. It's a hold unless.
That's when it's not a holding penalty. That's what that is referring to. To me, this is a rip move. So, okay, so that's not a holding. This was the correct call. Good job, refs. Well, again, it's more complex than that. Because at this point, if you have been put in this position due to the move, then it's reasonable to hold at that point. Because, it's kind of one of the situations where, as an offensive lineman, you're only in this spot because of the move. Is that what happened here with Hutchinson? I think you could argue both sides, because whether or not that was a rip move, I don't know if that actually changed that much of why they're in this position right here.
Let me stop this. This isn't the one I'm looking for. I thought it was there were now it's coming back to me. There were 2 games that happened that week. One game a team got fucked, not once but twice. And then the other game was the game that I'm talking about. I know I can go find it because Aaron Rodgers talked about this on Pat McAfee's show that week, because there was a similar play that happened in college that weekend that was fucking egregious. I'm gonna have to go back and research and look for that, which I will do. And then the next time I come on here, we'll get to the bottom of that play. But I'm telling you, when I say that play had my brain just blown away. I'm like, I've never seen this before. And it was so bad that the commentators were trying to explain this and they were getting tripped up. It was such a wonky ass fucking play. Again, when I get off of here, I'm going to jump on Pat McAfee and I'm going to go back a couple of weeks because Aaron Rodgers talked about this. There were 2, technically there were 3 games. There were 2 in the pros and there was 1 in college. And it happened on the same weekend. And one of the NFL games, it cost that team that win. It cost them that win because there were 2 blown calls that happened back to back on like the 5-yard line. So again, not everybody knows this game inside and out. There are people that, have a better knowledge of the game, which is why I'm like, if you have a better knowledge of the game, you shouldn't hesitate to tell people, stuff about the game. Richard said Lions would be at home. Aren't they in the top of their division? Well, let's see real quick. Let's take a look. And I think they might have lost that spot. Because they're 6-2 now. So they lost theirs. Let me see. Oh no, they're sitting at the top of their division. Actually, where the fuck did that score come from? Okay, so they're 8-3. So yeah, they would be 1, 2, 3. So they would be third. We would be fourth. The third would play the 6th. Oh, we just saw this. I should have kept this up. But yeah, they should have a home game. Let me do this just to be sure. So yeah. Actually, whoa, wait a minute. So they would be playing the Niners. Oh, hold on. I'm looking at that wrong. Okay, I had this completely wrong the first time we saw this. So we wouldn't be playing the Cowboys. Actually, hold on. That's why I got it wrong. They got this shit all kind of banged up. I'm glad that you asked that question before I got up out of here, fam. Okay, so let's see. The NFC first round bye. Okay, here we go. They would be playing the Vikings, so they would have a home game. We would still be playing the Cowboys. So the Lions would be playing the Vikings. They would have a home game. The Niners would be playing the Seahawks. So the way it goes is 4 plays 5, 3 plays 6, and 2 plays 7. And then the first round is of course is a bye. If you look at the AFC, the Chiefs would host the Colts, the Jaguars will host the Browns, the Dolphins will host the Steelers. The first time I read that, it had that thing all wonky, so that probably would have been on me. I apologize for that. Because I went back and looked at it, I'm like, the fuck? It would, the way that it looks here, the way I read it, it would have the Niners playing the Lions. But that's just the up and down what the rankings are right now. So that was probably on me. Seth says Jets have given up 46 sacks this year. Yeah. That line is awful, fam. It is awful. It's terrible. Nathan says, finally caught my boy on the Mark Live. Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming, man. Jonte says, digging the content, bro. I'll be tuning in more. I appreciate it, fam. So like I said, not every content creator gets it right. I've probably gotten it wrong at least 2 times. Definitely on this playoff picture. But I'm glad you asked that question so I could correct myself at the end. Alberto says, I hope we play against the Cowboys so we can redeem ourselves from when they whooped us. Yeah. 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 Oh, that would be sweet too. Because that's another fan base. I don't care what fan base you're a part of. If you're not a part of the Cowboys fan base, you hate the Cowboys fan base. So that would be something, man. But we got to get there first. We got to take it a game at a time, man. So I will holler at y'all definitely Saturday. Shout out to the Atlanta Bird Gang. You know, Tidy was on there for 5 hours, fam. It took me a minute to get through that, fam. Yeah, we'll be on Saturday, man. We'll just talk about a lot of football related stuff, a lot of random stuff, a lot of life stuff. You know, it is what it is. But shout out to the Bird Cage, shout out the Atlanta Bird Gang, shout out to AFN, shout out to OG, shout out to Mad Mike. Listen, everybody's not gonna be on the same page with everything. But at the end of the day, you know, for me, I don't hold no grudges. I don't have any issues with anybody, man. I actually support everybody's content. Shout out to Terrence Mathis with Bird Talk, man. Terrence got me praying a lot more now. Richard says San Francisco would be playing Seattle. Hold on, let me go back and look at this. Yeah, they would be playing Seattle. Yeah, you're right. 2 plays 7, so Seattle's sitting at 7, right? And Seattle's sitting at 7 with more wins than us. So are the Vikings. Both of them have 6 wins. The Cowboys have 8 for crying out loud. They got 8 for crying out loud. If it ended today, they'd be on the road playing us in Mercedes-Benz. Man, that division shit is a monster, boy. Imagine you winning 8 games. You like, we gotta play a playoff game on the road? Yeah, you do. Because right now, you are, I can't even say they're a game behind. Oh, actually, they're 2 games behind. So yeah, man, that's vicious. That's vicious. But yeah, let me continue with my shout. But yeah, man, Terrence Mathis with Bird Talk, man, I catch that every week. I've been praying a lot more, meditating a lot more too. You listen to the end. Boy, Terrence Mathis will have you thinking about going to church and dropping something off in the collection plate, man. So, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing a lot of the bigger guys too. Smitty, how can I forget Smitty and Uncle Steve's Lounge, man? And I'm forgetting some more, man. I apologize. And Berto, the Dixon Way, all good content, man. All good content. Make sure you get on these guys' channels. You shout them out, man. You support them because they all do good content, man. They all do good content. And again, I'm forgetting the bigger channels. I catch them too, man. I just, for whatever reason, I have a brain fog when it's time to shout them out. So next time I'll be sure to write it the fuck down. And give them some credit too, man. Because they listen, I believe all Falcons content creators do good jobs, man. Whether I agree or not, you know, because I'm pretty positive there are a lot of content creators that do not agree with what I say. I'm almost positive, but they give good content, man. It's you know, it's entertaining to listen to. A lot of it is you know, educational. You know, so if you're a Falcon fan, man, be sure to check out all those channels too, man. Because that's good content. That's great content that they pump out, and they're consistent with it. They're more consistent than me. Y'all motherfuckers only getting like two or three videos a week from me. Y'all only getting 2 or 3. 4 is stretching it. But they'll give you content every single day, damn near. So be sure to go support them, man. Show your love. We're all Falcons fans. We bleed red and black, and it's always about the logo and logo business, man. So let's gear up, get ready to get this win Sunday against the Jets. And with that being said and done, let me shout out one more for the people that listen to this later. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all checking me out. For my comment section, everybody that watched this live, I appreciate it, man. I will holler at y'all Saturday, and I'm officially up out of this bitch. Peace.